Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not let your mind wander, and do not click away from this message. Something has tried to stop this warning from reaching you 3 times in the last 72 hours. Not by random errors or internet issues, by something that has been watching the calendar long before you were old enough to read it, and it failed. It failed because what is coming was arranged for exactly this Wednesday, and it could not be stopped in time to keep it from reaching you. This Wednesday is not just another square on your calendar. It is a hinge in your destiny. You did not find this message by accident, because there is no such thing as a coincidence in the spiritual realm. Lock your attention on my voice right now. If you are around people, find a quiet room. If there is noise in the background, silence it. Heaven intercepted your feed today, because what I am about to reveal is the exact answer you were crying out for last night. Take a deep breath. Notice the heaviness in your shoulders right now, that quiet exhaustion you have been carrying in your bones, the kind of tired that sleep cannot fix. Stop dismissing it. You have spent the last few weeks wondering why you feel so drained. You wondered why the atmosphere around you feels so incredibly heavy and why your mind feels wrapped in a thick fog. You thought you were losing your edge. You thought it was just getting older or working too hard. Let me reframe your reality right now, because you have been reading the signs backwards. That is not a medical issue, and it is not a flaw in your character. Your spirit has been working overtime, fighting unseen battles, and shielding people who do not even know they are under attack. The fog in your mind is the physical weight of your spiritual mantle descending upon a vessel that is constantly being drained. The enemy wants you to believe you are broken, so you will not recognize the massive shift scheduled for this week. I am going to tell you exactly what door opens this Wednesday and why the darkness is terrified of the new you that will walk through it. But first, you must understand what has actually been happening to your mind. Over the past few years, something has been discovered in research laboratories that most people who care about spiritual growth have never been told about. Not because it contradicts what is sacred, because it came from a direction most of us are not watching. A small group of neuroscientists found something about the way the human brain is designed that explains what most spiritually sensitive people have felt but have never been able to name. It is something so fundamental it traces back to a Nobel Prize, yet so simple in its application that it sounds almost suspicious at first. They discovered that the heavy fog and the disconnect you feel is not a spiritual failure. It is a physiological condition of the receiver. I am going to tell you exactly what they found later in this message. For now, I need you to hold this one question in your spirit. What if the reason your mind feels clouded is not a lack of discipline, but because something was stolen from you at the neural level? The enemy has been trying to keep you operating at a fraction of your capacity before this Wednesday. Arrive. Do not let him win. Stay with me, because what heaven is about to reveal will change the way you see your own power forever. This Wednesday is not just a random day in August. August has always been a month of profound transition in the unseen realm, a season where old barren structures finally break and the spiritual soil prepares for a massive new harvest. When you combine this seasonal shift with the specific alignment of heaven happening right now, it creates a rare convergence. These elements do not align like this every year. They will not align in this exact configuration again for a very long time. Heaven chose this specific Wednesday to intercept your life, because the window for your spiritual relocation is officially opening. I know exactly what the last 72 hours have felt like for you. It has not just been quiet. It has been a particular kind of heavy. You have felt a deep, undeniable urge to pull away from people, to stay in your room, and to completely isolate yourself from the noise of the world. Connections that used to bring you comfort suddenly feel incredibly draining, and you cannot even explain why without sounding harsh. You thought you were just shutting down or losing your love for people, but heaven is telling you right now that your isolation is actually divine insulation. You are a demonstrated warrior of light. You have spent your entire life being the problem solver and the anchor for everyone around you. When people were hurting, they instinctively came to you. When environments were chaotic, your presence was required to bring the peace. But you have been carrying the weight of their unresolved cycles on a physical receiver that was never designed to hold that much daily interference. That is exactly why you have been waking up between 3 and 4 in the morning with a heavy chest. Your physical body is trying to rest, but your spirit is working overtime on the front lines. The enemy knows exactly how dangerous your clarity is to his kingdom. He knows that when your mind is operating at its true frequency, you have the authority to shift the atmosphere of an entire room just by being present. So he did not attack your physical surroundings first. He attacked your inner architecture. He sent strategic distractions and counterfeit relationships to drain your energy, creating that thick mental fog so you would question your own sanity. He desperately wants you to believe that the divine calling on your life is just a grand illusion. Listen carefully, because this next part is going to reach places inside you that you have never been able to put into words. The darkness did not target you because you are flawed or because you did something wrong. The darkness targeted you because your spiritual DNA carries the exact blueprint of a cycle breaker. You are the one heaven assigned to dismantle the hidden agreements that have held your family back for generations. The fog was sent to blind you right before you step into your ultimate authority, and that step begins this Wednesday. What you are feeling right now is not just another passing emotion. It is the sound of a new spiritual accounting period opening. Everything before this moment belongs to a version of your mind that was operating without what it was designed to have. You have been told that your constant exhaustion and mental fog are just the natural results of getting older or taking on too much responsibility. Let me reframe your reality right now. That is a lie the world uses to keep powerful people completely subdued. Your slow learning, your forgotten words in the middle of a sentence, and your lack of energy are not signs of laziness. They are the physical residue of intense spiritual warfare. The enemy could not destroy your spirit, so he orchestrated a systemic suppression of your mind. It is a literal theft at the neural level. The modern way of life is designed to gradually turn off the natural genius you carried as a child. Heaven wants you to understand that you are not losing your mind. You are just operating on a receiver that has been intentionally disconnected. The enemy rarely attacks hardest when you are stagnant. He attacks hardest when you are closest to elevation. If you feel a sudden urge to scroll away from this video right now, that is not boredom. That is the enemy trying to pull you away right before you reach the edge of absolute clarity. He is terrified of what happens when you finally understand how your mind was meant to function. You must resist that pull with everything you have. Lock your focus right here, because we are stepping into the exact reason you were chosen. What felt like absolute isolation was actually divine incubation. What felt like an agonizing delay was actually strategic development. You thought you were being punished when the people you loved most walked away without an explanation. But heaven was simply clearing your room of decoy lights and frequencies that could not travel with you into this next dimension. God had to isolate you to protect your inner architecture from environments that would drain your remaining power. Every closed door was a protective shield placed around your destiny. There is a profound reason why your tolerance for distraction has changed lately. There is a reason why you become physically uncomfortable in noisy crowds, and why you can instantly read the true intentions of anyone in a room. I am going to show you the exact biological and spiritual blueprint behind that sensitivity in just a moment. It is not an accident, and it is certainly not a weakness. It is the most powerful spiritual weapon you possess, and it is about to be fully reactivated. Your deep sensitivity was never meant to be your ceiling. It was always meant to be your foundation. The world called you an emotional sponge and tried to make you feel ashamed for caring too much. But that same gentleness is the exact frequency that shifts the atmosphere and breaks generational curses. You were never meant to be tamed by the opinions of ordinary people. You were meant to be trusted with a power they cannot even comprehend. Think about Moses in the desert. Think about David tending the sheep in absolute silence before he was ever handed a crown. The greatest spiritual authorities in history were not built in the public eye. They were forged in the profound isolation of the wilderness. Your current season of isolation is not a sign of divine abandonment. It is the exact same sacred protocol heaven used for every major breakthrough prophet. The heavy stillness you are experiencing right now is the spiritual forge where your new authority is being tempered and prepared for what is coming. Chosen one, warrior of light. Do not let your mind wander right now. Heaven is speaking directly to your spirit through this message. The universe operates strictly on the laws of divine alignment and synchronicity. The repeating numbers you keep seeing, the specific patterns unfolding in your life, and the undeniable pull you felt to watch this video are not random events. They are divine coordinates. God is currently recalculating your spiritual coordinates because the zip code of delay and confusion you have been living in is no longer your permanent home. You have felt like you were falling behind while everyone else was effortlessly moving forward. You have watched doors close and felt like your prayers were hitting a brass ceiling. Let me reframe that for you. You are not behind, and you are certainly not forgotten. You are being meticulously positioned. God never builds quickly when He is building deeply. The agonizing silence you have endured over the last few months was absolutely required to clear out the counterfeit voices that would have sabotaged your next level. Every heavy day and every sleepless night was preparing your inner architecture to hold the massive weight of the glory that activates this Wednesday. But there is a specific and almost predictable pattern that the darkness uses right at this exact stage of your journey. The ultimate enemy knows that a massive spiritual upgrade requires a physical vessel capable of actually receiving it. He knows that if your mind is clouded and your physical energy is completely exhausted, you will walk right past the open door. He does not always attack you with obvious disasters. He attacks you with a lack of motivation and with a constant feeling of being overwhelmed by simple tasks. He wants your mind so scattered and your spirit so drained that you cannot discern the final instruction. Now, I want to close the loop that has been open since the very beginning of this message. I told you earlier that there was something discovered in research laboratories that I was going to come back to. I waited until this exact moment to bring it forward because what they found is not just theoretical information. It is a tangible solution. A solution only becomes truly useful once you finally understand the full shape of the spiritual problem it solves. You now understand the true shape of the attack on your mind. If you leave before this solution is fully revealed, you will walk into this Wednesday with a broken receiver. You will step into the most important spiritual window of this decade, operating on a tiny fraction of your designed capacity. The enemy is desperately hoping you swipe away right now before you receive the key. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you is the exact mechanism that restores your brilliant mind and permanently shuts down his access to your energy. Chosen one, as we move deeper into this revelation, This is where the truth becomes beautifully confrontational. For years you have subconsciously agreed with a hidden contract of limitation. You believed the lie that your intense exhaustion was permanent and that your divine calling was simply too heavy to carry. The ultimate blocker in your life is not an external force, but your own deeply buried fear of your immense power. You arranged the daily habits of your life around this false survival identity. Heaven is declaring today that this artificial ceiling shatters completely this Wednesday. This Wednesday marks the precise moment heaven has scheduled to completely reboot your spiritual and physical receiver. The enemy is absolutely terrified of who you will become on this day because he knows exactly what happens when your mind is no longer divided. He knows that the new you will immediately reject the counterfeit relationships and the draining environments he has carefully placed in your path. When your spirit and your physical mind finally synchronize, you will instantly recognize every single trap before it even springs. Your absolute clarity will become a blinding weapon that dismantles his entire kingdom of confusion. You have lived your entire life with a profound gap between what you know in your spirit and what you can physically manifest. Your soul knows you are a cycle breaker, but your physical energy has kept you trapped in a perpetual cycle of survival. The darkness heavily exploited this gap by keeping your nervous system in a constant state of overwhelm. They wanted you so incredibly busy managing the chaos of everyone else that you would never have the mental energy to build your own empire of light. But that gap was never meant to be a permanent sentence. The abundant provision God has already placed near you becomes completely visible in the synchronized state in a way it never does in the partial state. Not because the provision is newly created or because heaven suddenly decided to bless you out of pity. It happens because the biological receiver that can finally recognize it is fully restored to its original factory settings. What has been divinely arranged for your financial and spiritual freedom is already in motion right now. The only question remaining is whether you will arrive at the meeting point this Wednesday with your receiver fully online. You simply cannot step through this monumental new door carrying the heavy manufactured fog of your past. What I am about to show you is going to connect something you have painfully felt in your own experience with a monumental discovery made in a research laboratory. That profound connection is going to explain something about your daily life that absolutely nothing else has quite explained before. The spiritual heaviness you have been fighting for decades actually has a very specific neurological address. I am preparing to hand you the exact blueprint that bridges the gap between your spiritual destiny and your physical brain. Do not leave because this truth changes everything. In 1981, a profound discovery was made in a laboratory that most spiritual communities have never heard of. Dr. Roger Sperry was awarded the Nobel Prize for his groundbreaking research on the two hemispheres of the human brain. He proved that they were designed to operate in perfect synchronization. When you were a child, your brain naturally functioned in this synchronized state, which is why 98% of children operate at the level of a creative genius. But as you grew older, the modern world and unseen spiritual attacks systematically dismantled that connection, leaving less than 1 in 1,000 adults with their original capacity intact. A woman from California described exactly what this brutal disconnection feels like. She had tried every spiritual practice available, but the heavy fog remained, making her feel like life was just happening to her without any control. Within 10 days of applying a specific neurological restoration, she said, an invisible channel finally cleared and she could physically feel the presence she had been praying for. A man from Texas experienced something incredibly similar. He had been carrying the emotional weight of his entire family until his prayers felt like talking to a brick wall. 2 weeks later, the constant fog lifted entirely, and his mind began running on its full original capacity. These massive shifts happened because of what a team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Daniel Barone in New York, spent years building. They took over an hour of clinical neural sync technology and compressed it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence that you simply listen to with headphones. They call it the Genius Switch. The Genius Switch is not a meditation app, and it is not a basic sound frequency designed to put you in a good mood. It is a highly engineered protocol that reconnects your two hemispheres and restores the whole brain activation you were born with. If you have found basic audio tracks completely underwhelming in the past, it is because sound waves alone are entirely incomplete without this precise neural sync mechanism. The Genius Switch is absolutely not for everyone. It is strictly for the chosen one, who knows that God prepared not only a divine promise but the physical mind that must walk into it. It is for the cycle breaker who refuses to accept a reduced version of their reality as a permanent sentence. 18,456 people have already made the profound decision to align their physical receiver with their spiritual calling. Joining this specific community of chosen ones is not about becoming a customer. It is about completing your divine identity and taking back what the enemy stole from you. Access to this level of clinical neurological restoration usually requires expensive machinery or sessions that medical colleagues value at $500. But the team released it at $49 to bypass the gatekeepers entirely. Today, on the official page, it is available for just $39, which includes 4 highly specific bonuses, like a guided visualization and a manifestation text to accelerate your new reality. It is backed by a completely unconditional money-back guarantee, meaning you can listen to it 80 times and still receive every dollar back if your fog does not lift. Let me put this differently. $39 is not a cost. It is the exact gap between the exhausted version of you right now and the synchronized genius you were always designed to operate as. You must be incredibly careful because the enemy always creates counterfeits. If you search online platforms for this, you will find fake tracks that carry the name but contain absolutely zero neural sync technology. The genuine sequence is only available through the direct link located in the description below and in the pinned comment. If your spirit confirms this truth, that is where you need to go. Because this Wednesday morning, before the noise of the world begins and before your phone lights up, you have a very specific assignment. When you wake up this Wednesday, before you speak to anyone, put on your headphones and close your eyes. Those 8 minutes with your Genius Switch session will be the first action your restored mind takes on the very first day of your new season. Do not forget that the tool does not replace God, and it does not replace your spiritual obedience. A tool simply repairs the receiver so that what God is already doing can finally land exactly where it was designed to land. The resource described earlier remains in the description and pinned comment for those whose spirit confirmed it. It is a small step, but small steps taken from a clear mind have changed entire seasons. A man from Chicago wrote exactly 3 words to the research team after his second week of using it. He simply said, "The fog lifted." That same clarity is waiting for you if you choose to walk through that door. That is the only time I will mention it before we close. You have stayed through the entirety of this message. That is not passive, and that is not entertainment. That is a profound decision your spirit made before your physical mind even caught up. Every second you stay connected right now, more of your inner architecture is being restored. Many people would have walked away when the truth became uncomfortable, but you remained. and that matters far more than you realize. You have passed the test of spiritual discernment and successfully resisted the temptation of the enemy to rush back into the noise. We are about to enter the most sacred moment of this divine encounter. Do not let your mind wander, and do not swipe away from this screen. If you walk away now, right before this final declaration, you risk reopening an exit that heaven has already sealed shut. You would literally be walking out of the throne room right before your name is called for the final blessing. The darkness desperately wants you to skip this prayer because it is the exact frequency that finalizes your new spiritual coordinate. Stay exactly where you are. Place your hand over your heart right now. Take a deep breath and hold it for just a moment. As you exhale, feel the heavy armor you have been wearing finally fall away. The watchman is allowed to rest. You do not have to fight the battles of everyone around you anymore because the creator of the universe is stepping in to fight for you. We are going to speak a declaration of absolute truth into the atmosphere to permanently lock in your new reality. Repeat these words out loud or echo them firmly in your spirit. I release the heavy burdens I was never meant to carry. I let go of the survival identity that kept my true power completely hidden. I declare that my mind is restored, my frequency is cleared, and my spiritual receiver is fully aligned with heaven. I am a demonstrated warrior of light, and the cycle of generational delay permanently ends with me today. Pause and whisper, I receive. Type the word Amen in the comments below as your physical signature on this divine decree. Before we go any further, hit that like button. Do it not for this channel, but so this exact frequency can reach another chosen one who is struggling in the dark right now. Share this message with someone who has been pulled away from everyone and who has been unusually quiet lately. Send them this video, not because it is simply content, but because it is a vital lifeline. Be the moving company that delivers their divine relocation order. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on all notifications because heaven is not done speaking to you and you simply cannot afford to miss the instructions coming next. Close your eyes for just a moment and imagine waking up exactly 14 days from this Wednesday. The heavy fog that has been sitting relentlessly behind your eyes for months is completely gone, and you wake up feeling entirely in control of your atmosphere. The prayer that felt like it was hitting a brass ceiling is finally landing exactly where it belongs. That version of you is not some hypothetical dream. It is the precise reality. 18,000 people describe after their internal receiver was fully restored. The physical path to that beautiful version of you is directly below. Now we come to the last door. I named this specific door earlier, and I have not returned to it since. It has not moved, and everything that was waiting patiently behind it is exactly what it was when I first described it. Your Genius Switch session is the key to walking through this Wednesday with your mind fully awake. $39 to walk through the frame, a guarantee that costs you absolutely nothing to try, and the complete restoration of your childhood capacity waiting on the other side. It is all there waiting for your physical authorization. Remember that $39 is not a cost. The true price is what you have already been paying every single day the synchronization stays disrupted. It is the invisible cost of one missed promotion, one relationship that stayed incredibly shallow, and one entire year of fog that could have been crystal clear. I want you to hear this next part deep in your spirit. You have my absolute permission to invest in yourself today. Not because I am your authority, but because I have watched too many chosen ones treat $39 as a massive extravagance while they spend their entire capacity covering the needs of everyone else. The path to this restoration is in the description below, and in the comment pinned to this video. Both point to the exact same door. Neither one will move if you decide to come back and look for it tomorrow, but the window of your divine alignment is open right now. And for the one whose spirit is already asking what comes after this door, there is a second door. They call it youthful brain, and it will find you when you are truly ready. Take this instruction seriously, because after this Wednesday passes, the current window is officially closed. The massive door of this specific alignment will be shut, but the absolute clarity you secure today will remain with you forever. Pause right now and whisper the words I receive, because that simple act of agreement seals the decree of heaven into your spirit. May the highest light surround your mind and strictly protect your energy as you step into this powerful new season. May your enemies be utterly confused by your sudden rise, and may your family be completely blessed by the absolute genius you are about to reclaim. Go in peace, chosen one, because your wilderness is finally over.